I'm Michael Knight, the Managing Director of the OK Preps Network, here with another OKGridiron exclusive. This is Jon-Michael Terry of Victory Christian, the newest commitment to the University of Oklahoma. First off, Jon-Michael, congratulations. I know it's a huge decision for you and your future. You committed to Oklahoma over the weekend after a visit to Norman. What led you to that decision?
Well, I've grown up watching Oklahoma and Coach Stoops and the whole program. And I know they have a great program there, and he's a great coach. And after talking with my parents after the offer and everything, we decided it'd be the best decision to just go ahead and call back and let them know I committed.
How soon after you received that offer did you make that call back and say, hey, look, the recruiting process is over for me. I'm going to play football my next 4 to 5 years with you in Norman?
Yeah, I'd say it was probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours after we left.
A lot of kids wait until all the way up until signing day to make their decision. A lot of kids wait till after the football season. Why was it so easy for you to make that decision so soon?
Well, because I'm from Oklahoma, and to play for that school, that huge of a school, OU, that's just a big deal for me and my family, so we knew that was the right decision.
Did you always grow up being an Oklahoma fan? Over the last couple of years, they've had some huge wins, but at the same time, they've had a lot of movement in their coaching staff with some struggling years. Did that concern you at all, or was it just the morale of the entire program that led you to making that decision?
Yeah, it was more of just the morale of the entire program, because they have great football tradition there, and it's just been a top program for so long now, for like decades now, so it was just really easy to make that decision.
We'll talk more about the gridiron, your playing days at Victory Christian, which you still have one more year, your future at the University of Oklahoma. But we got a basketball gym as the background.
Yep.
You and the Conquerors basketball program are about to head into the Class 4A playoffs. Let's talk a little bit about that right now. Last couple of years, you've made trips to the state tournaments. A couple of years ago, losing to Douglas in the semifinals last year, getting upset in the first round. Victory Christian has been a team led by Chris Crawford, who's going all the way across the street to play his college basketball at ORU. That's been right there on the edge of winning the state championship. What do you guys have to do this year to get it done?
We just have to do what everybody thinks we can do and what we know we can do, because we know we have it in us to win the state championship. We've just got to go out and perform.
What's your role on this team? Because I have in my own opinion of what your role is, but I see you as the guy who's underneath the basket, doing all the dirty work. What do you see your role as?
Yeah, I see myself as a little bit like that too, just playing strong defense and everything. And when I get a chance to, taking it strong to the basket and just doing my part.
How fun is it to, let me ask you this, because it's an interesting dynamic with you being on the basketball team and the football team. You're playing with one of the top players in the state on the basketball team in Chris Crawford.
Yeah.
On the flip side, you're playing on the football team with one of the best quarterbacks in the state, Keith Calhoun.
Yeah.
How close are you with those three guys? Chris obviously doesn't play football, but you and Keith both play football and basketball. How close have you grown with those two guys?
Well, we keep a super close relationship on the team and everything, and we work together all the time, like most of the time, team events or not, just hanging out outside of school, and it's pretty awesome to play with both of them, both great players on the football field and the basketball court.
What do you enjoy playing more, basketball or football?
I love football. Yeah, that's where my heart's at.
So I hope Coach Wakely isn't watching, because with the playoffs right around the corner, you got the commitment to Oklahoma, and obviously that's where your heart is. But you're a heck of a basketball player as well. No thought when you were younger that maybe you wanted to play basketball at the next level?
Oh, I think everybody thinks about playing basketball like when they're little, because when I was little, I didn't play football till like 5th grade, but I've been playing basketball since like kindergarten and everything, and I would always like watch the NBA games and stuff and be like, wow, that'd be cool to be like one of them. And then as I got older though, I just fell in love with football.
Now let me ask you about that. Slow entry into football, played basketball longer. What brought you to the sport, and what was it that you fell in love with about football that you knew that's what I want to do?
Well, I first started playing football when I came to school here at Victory Christian, because at my old school they didn't have a football team, but I don't know, I just fell in love with the game. I just love every aspect of the game, and I really don't know how to describe it, you know, but yeah.
All right, let me throw this one at you, and it's going to be interesting to see what your answer is. Who's better at their craft? Chris Crawford at going from the top of the key to the basket, or Keith Calhoun on a Friday night throwing a touchdown pass over the middle? Who's better?
That is a crazy decision. That's a really good question. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a sports analyst, but or anything like that. But Keats is really good, and he's got a great arm. And Chris, he can do anything on the court. He can shoot, he can drive, you know, and finish at the rim. That's a tough one. I feel like I'd have to flip a coin.
Honestly, I truly believe this. Nobody can stay in front of Chris Crawford in the state. If he wants to go to the basket, there's nobody that's going to stop him. I firmly believe he's the fastest player on the floor in the state of Oklahoma. Speaking of Keats, fantastic basketball player, fantastic football player. What do you think he's better at, football or basketball?
I'd have to say football. I think he's a better football player.
And then finally, before we get back into the football realm of questioning, how about you guys starting the playoffs on Saturday with districts who go into regionals area and possibly make a run to another state tournament appearance and a possible gold ball? Will you guys win the state championship this year? Simple question, but I know it's not so simple when you're out there on the floor.
Yeah, I definitely believe we will.
Just going to take it.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to stop Victory Christian.
No, sir.
No, sir. Hey, you heard it here first, so if it happens in a couple weeks, this guy knows what he's talking about. All right, back to the football field. Playing offense and defense. You're also a standout basketball player. You ever get tired? I mean, do your legs ever start killing you? I mean, it's got to be, wearing on you, especially at the end of football season, playing both ways and knowing you get no break. Once you're done with football, you're right into the basketball gym.
Yeah, well, it can wear on you sometimes, but I always just make sure to ice and just stay fresh and eat right. And in between football and basketball season, I usually just take a couple days, to just stay at home and just relax a little bit, and then head back to the gym.
Yeah, an interesting question that I like to ask, especially the kids, going into their senior year. Who do you look up to, whether it's a football player in college or in the National Football League, that you like to mirror your game, or if you had the opportunity to play, his position? Who do you look up to, whether it's at defensive end or tight end, or it could be another position? Who's a football player that Jon-Michael Terry looks up to? I'm asking you tough questions today.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I don't know, really. I don't know. J.J. Watt, he's a great player, and he's one of the best in the game right now. So I don't know, probably him.
That kind of leads into my next question. I asked you what you prefer, football or basketball. What do you prefer on the gridiron, offense or defense? I have a feeling that that J.J. Watt answer might have given it away.
Yeah, that's a really close for me. I just love playing the game, but I'd probably lean a little bit towards the defensive side of the ball.
So if I threw this scenario at you, it's 4th down, you got to get a stop on defense to win, or it's 4th down, you got to score a touchdown to win. What would you rather do? Catch the winning touchdown pass or get the game-clinching sack to win the 3A state championship for Victory Christian football? Which one would you rather have happen?
I'd make that sack.
I'd
make that sack. Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Jerry Montgomery, the defensive line coach at OU, he left last week to take a job in the NFL with the Green Bay Packers. I don't know if they filled that position yet or not, but what do you know about the defensive scheme that they are running currently in Norman? Do they see you remaining at it as a defensive end or possibly moving to a linebacker spot?
Yeah, they see me as moving to a linebacker spot most likely, and Their Coach Tim Kish, he thinks I'd fit in well there at inside or outside linebacker. So they're still trying to figure that out, but yeah.
And then finally, a couple more questions for you. Last question involving Oklahoma. After school, after graduation, what is it that you want to be? It's the famous question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Would you like to pursue professional football? Is that ever crossed your mind, or what would you be majoring in? Things like that. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, well, playing professional football, that'd be awesome and all, but going to college to get that degree and everything, that's the main thing. So I got to think about what I'm going to do when football ends, because it's going to end eventually, whether that be college is the last time I play, high school, or after the NFL, if that were to happen. I don't know. I'd like to say that I'd like to be something with like sports medicine or something like that. That's something I'm interested in. So yeah.
And finally, I always enjoy talking with recruits who are staying in state. I'm not an OU fan, OSU fan, TU fan,
Yeah.
but I love seeing Oklahoma kids stay local. I want whatever's best for our kids and their futures, whether that's going all the way to Wyoming. I know Wyoming has a huge presence recruiting Oklahoma, but I love when kids stay local. What's it mean to you to be able to play for your state's university?
It means a lot. It means it's a big deal for me and my family. They can come up and watch me play whenever, because it's just so close, and it just means a lot. I got a lot of family, and they're all OU fans and stuff, so it's a big deal for them too.
Jon-Michael, congratulations. I appreciate you sitting down with me. I know it's a huge decision. Looking forward to seeing how Victory Christian does in the state tournament. I guess we don't need to see. It's already done. They're going to win state. And then, of course, looking forward to your senior year. He's Jon-Michael Terry of Victory Christian, the newest commit to Oklahoma. I'm Michael Knight, the Managing Director of the OK Preps Network, and this has been another OK Gridiron exclusive right here on your home for high school sports, the OK Preps Network.